Right, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Hi, everyone. I'm here with Richard Teresco. Hi, Richard.
Hello,
For
Bo.
those of you who don't know, Richard is one of the top competitive players of the UK. He is right now the joint British champion for this year. I think you and Ross, you divided the title last time, right?
We did, yeah, we shared it. Yeah.
Yeah. You've also participated in quite a few of the international tournaments
hmm
on various teams as well. So not a Mr. Nobody. And Richard is here today to talk us through the lists for the Danish Nationals. As you guys know, I will tell you what's in the list. I'll try to keep my commentary to a minimum. I've been really bad at this because
You're
I have
awful
so
at it.
much to
Yeah.
say. Sorry. And then Richard will try and give comments about what he thinks will happen here, right? So, Richard, you've been looking over the lists for the Danish nationals. What do you think so far? Are they very far from the British meta?
No, no, not at all. You got some really good lists in there. Some of them are really tempting for ourselves. Obviously, the comp that you've got for your event
Yeah,
doesn't match some of our comps, so some of the lists will sort of be weighted in certain directions based on the additional comp
yeah,
or things that they want to put in because they got the extra points. And of course, any list is always managed by the fact that the poor old individual, if he hasn't got the figures, he hasn't got the figures, or he hasn't got the tank, or he hasn't got anything else.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
not everyone's hardcore.
yeah. Would you? What nation do you think you would bring to this tournament if you were going?
Oh, well, I've been looking at some of the lists. I would be tempted if I wasn't going to take Brits. I'd
Hmm,
probably take Italians.
yeah,
And we'll see as we go through some of these lists why I think Italians are going to be interesting. Not necessarily meta, not game breaker, but certainly they got some great options that are available to them, which uh, yeah, in the right matchups will be absolutely stunning. Other matchups,
yeah.
then maybe they'll
So,
struggle.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but there's a good chance that Italians will do well here.
yeah. I think so too. And of course, 8 players are bringing Italians. One of them,
Yeah,
though, is bringing not Case Blue Italians, which is yep.
crazy.
Anywho, we are going to talk to the and let me just see here, share my screen. There we go. Share. What what is this doing? All screen. Come on. Yeah, share. It doesn't want to do a thing. There. Can you see my screen now?
I can see the pair of us on the screen now. Yeah. Ah, there we go.
And here we go. Right. So we're going to start with Merrick,
Yeah.
and Merrick is, of course, one of the Polish national team players. So again, not a Mr. Nobody. He knows definitely what he's doing. He's bringing Soviets. 18 water dice. He's lacking 2 points. Um, so he's bringing junior lieutenant in experience with an extra man. Assault engineers with 3 submachine guns, single rifle, double Panzerfaust, and flamethrower. Strafbats, 7 unarmed guys with 5 riflemen, shirkers. Strafbats, 7 unarmed, 5 riflemen, shirkers. A scout squad to do that sweet forward deployment with 5 veterans with submachine guns. Mounted recon squad with submachine guns and flamethrower. Rifle squad, the medium mortar regular with a spotter. Sniper team, regular. Tank hunter team, again, double tank hunters here. So he's forward deploying 3 units here. Um, dog mine team, 3-man dog mine team. Do you see that happening anywhere?
No, you don't. And I don't know whether this is because he wants to deploy them early, but they are inexperienced.
They are.
So he might be looking at some sort of survival there. But yeah, not the way you would normally expect to see dog mines.
No, no. This is
No,
unusual because now he's not small team, right?
no, no.
Um,
So yeah, maybe he's looking for a prep bombardment survival. Sort of being on the
maybe.
board.
Yeah. maybe.
But even then,
Yeah. Medium howitzer with a spotter, BA-10, Stuart light
yeah,
tank with all the machine guns and recce. Truck for, I'm not sure, the engineers perhaps. Gas jeep and a Lend-Lease universal carrier for the what are they called? Mounted recon guys, I guess. Yeah.
possibly, yeah. What an interesting selection of units. I'd almost say it's eclectic. It's all over the place. You can't really. I mean, he's got certain things, small units and engineer units and so forth, who are obviously going to be sort of pushing it, going for something. But without the only thing I can see that's doing any real harm there is that there's the Stuart and maybe the howitzer putting pins on to allow these units to get close to do the damage.
Mm.
If he doesn't get that opportunity, then I think he's just going for a swarm, trying to get them on there, get them to do the work. Sacrifice one for another one to do the damage.
Mm.
Two Strafbat units to sit at the back, which is great. I mean, that's
Yeah.
cheap and cheerful. And the free rifle squad, which is an extra one that you could do it with. So the argument then is why the extra Strafbat dice, possibly. Interesting sort of
Potentially,
look
and
at that.
and you could also like outflank with all these 3 units here, if you really
Yeah, you
wanted a
could.
massive outflank. Yeah.
Yeah. Medium mortar with spotter, my hero.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, you Brit! How very British of you.
Yeah, yeah. It's the two tank hunter teams. I 4 men vets, brilliant, and they are a threat if you can get them up behind the cover,
Yeah.
sort of halfway up
But
the
they're so
table, which will.
expensive compared to like just
Yeah,
dog mines, right?
yeah. I know. I not partic- not my first go-to choice. I think there,
Yeah.
and the dog mine is the weird one. The dog, I don't. He's probably got a good reason behind it, and you'd have to ask him what his thinking is behind it, because
Mm.
I don't see it. I think the BA-10 is a great option. It
Mm.
gives you that extra, sort of anti-tank that can run around, do some recce and sort of stuff, while the
Yeah.
Stuart goes in, does his stuff. And the Stuart's got the recce as well, so he can put one forward, you can take
Yeah.
a shot at it, run away, and the next one sort of pops out and does it. So he can double up on that, and I think
Mm.
that's really good. The Gaz Jeep can, of course, hold 3 people, so you can put one of your anti-tank teams in there. But I think really what you're looking at here is the Gaz Jeeps can have the dog mines in it.
Yeah, I think so too.
That,
Just
that's
to
what you're
extend
going
the
to see there.
range. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's made them cheap, but he's put more numbers in there so he can throw them forward, chuck them out, do the damage. And I reckon that's
Yeah.
probably what he's looking at to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The rest of
And
it,
it's regular,
vehicles
so he
wise,
he could outflank or come in from the reserve and
yeah,
still have that range. Yeah, that's what he's
yeah,
doing.
yeah. So he's got lots of answers to lots of problems.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's
Is
it's an
this maybe
interesting list.
is this maybe an
Yeah.
army that wants to react more than it wants to actually like dominate which direction the game goes?
No, I don't think so. I think with the two armored units, you can actually push down one flank. You can then
Good.
chuck
Yeah.
your anti-tank, sorry, your troops into the universal carrier.
Mm.
Yeah, you've got enough to push.
Mm.
Depending on the
Okay.
terrain, I think that'll be very interesting.
Yeah. Right. So that was the first one. That was
Yeah,
Merrick, and I think he can do well with this.
yeah.
Just being a good player as well. Then we have Matias.
Hmm.
Matias here is he is by heart a German player, but he is bringing Americans as an experiment. He wants to have a second army, so he's bringing 18 authorized Americans. Again, lagging 2 points here. U.S. reinforced platoon, second lieutenant in experience, double veteran engineers with a single submachine gun in the unit and flamethrowers, of course. Marine Raiders, they've got anti-tank grenades. I don't get this, and 3 BARs. So that's a pretty nice little unit. Stubborn, veteran, very survivable. Lots of shots coming out. Double scout teams here. That's the scout team that can actually like escape move as an
Yeah.
infantry small team. Medium mortar inexperienced, very Danish of him. Sniper team with submachine guns on both of guys. Flamethrower team, bazooka team, 114mm rocket launcher, inexperienced. Raker Jeep, Sherman 105, not veteran but regular. A Jeep,
Mhm.
a Weasel, 2 scout cars, and another Jeep. I'm guessing like the flamethrower team will get 1 Jeep and the bazooka team the other.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
The it's an interesting list. It's a pseudo armored list
it is.
because you've got the white scout cars, which will
Yep,
protect his units as they get up there. So he's probably looking at chucking his engineers into those, throwing them up the table,
yep,
giving them some protection. Normally, you'd see that done with Dodge trucks because you
yep,
save the points and everything else. But I think
yep.
because of the points and the sort of the dice limit that's for the Danish Nationals, I
Mm,
think it gives him the option to do that, and I think that's a good option. I
yep.
think it will keep his units alive, keep them on the table, put them into positions where he can use them. Don't really get the two scout squads. Are you doing any scenarios that are going to be like timely objectives?
We are doing timely objectives, yes.
That could be
So
why then.
that
Okay.
could be why, yeah.
It's
That could be
still
why he's trying. I think. I think a
311.
lot of these lists we saw Merrick before are trying to have
Yeah.
a lot of forward deployers to win that forward deployment game. We
Yeah,
have
yeah,
two
no, that's
scenarios
interesting.
where that actually might be a thing that
Hmm.
could win you games. So yeah,
Yeah. This 134 points for 7 men just for the
yeah,
Marine Raiders.
yeah. That is very expensive.
I mean, I
Yeah,
think that looks like a. I mean, the 3 bars make me feel that it's going to be a point of fire base. It's a fire base of just the bars
yeah,
to
yeah,
pin, get into a place, and not go
mm,
anywhere. But then it
yeah.
goes crazy with the tank hunters with anti-tank
Hmm.
grenades.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
it
what
kind of
that is.
uh,
Yeah,
just yeah, fantastic idea. No spotter for the mortar. Never mind.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, bazooka, the multi-launcher. As you love multi-launcher, so you'll know all
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
The M4 Sherman with the 105 howitzer. It's a good choice. It's a good vehicle.
yeah.
185 points. Probably get value for
Would you
money of that in every
would
game.
you sacrifice the extra 40 points to make it veteran?
No,
No, me neither.
no. But I'd have probably done more with the rest of the army
Mm,
to. Well, I'd probably get rid of some of them scout cars to be honest with you, and put other things in there, and maybe make some bigger units. Another marine unit, possibly. Bit more
maybe a few
firepower
more
from that.
BARs in some units here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong. The vehicles that he's got machine guns on them. But they're
Mm,
HMGs,
yeah.
so they will dish out the damage. But yeah, depending what's coming the other way, he's probably going to get pinned, and it's only armor 7.
Mm,
So
true.
if he uses them well to drop the engineers and the flamethrowers off, then this is going to be quite a nasty little list. But like I said,
Yeah.
the only thing at range you've got is that one Sherman. Well, when I say at range, apart from the indirects,
Mm,
is the tank. So once you sort of get
yeah.
that out of the way, it's a little bit vulnerable, I think, in some areas.
Little bit. Little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you can anticipate he's going to have to move up after that.
Yes.
So
Then we
that'll
have
be
Michael
interesting.
C, who is of course from the Danish WTC first
Is
team.
that our Michael? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the motherfucker.
So and he's got a 14 order dice list here, so it's a little low, and it's Italians.
Yeah.
Again, 2 points low, and he's bringing inexperienced lieutenant with an extra man, and then
Mhm.
black shirts. One, two, three black shirts. One of them is an 18-man
18 man.
veteran black shirt unit. That is insane. And they've got anti-tank grenades as well, fanatic tough fighters.
Brilliant.
I think he's trying to see if
Brilliant.
he can make Death Stars work here, because that is almost
Yeah.
300 points.
I
It's
know.
insane.
So what else has he got in his unit? He's got
Then he's got
Carabinieri,
Carabinieri and forward artillery observer, medium
which
mortar
is
team,
strange.
inexperienced. Yeah, flamethrower,
Uh-huh.
an anti-tank rifle, because that's sweet
Why
reroll on
not?
the 2+. Sniper, medium howitzer, Sahariana SPA, that's the one that can drive through rough ground.
Yeah.
AA truck with a light automatic cannon, and a Fiat for the flamethrower.
Yeah. So I think there's. I love this. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not optimal in my opinion, but you can see what he wants to do. He wants to use the forward observer, put pins on units so that his horrible black shirts can get up there. 18 men, 18 men,
You know what
veteran,
this unit can do?
fanatic, tough fighters. Brilliant.
It's brilliant. This unit can actually sit on multiple objectives at once, because if he strings them out, they'll take up half a
Yeah,
table easily.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, it's massive. I can see why he's gone for the anti-tank grenades, because if he's going to throw them forward, he doesn't care what's in front of him. He
No,
doesn't care. You can
no,
throw a tank out the front. You can do what you
yep,
want. And
yep.
then he's got the two nine-man units at 126 point, which again have got anti-tank grenades. So
Mhm. He's
he
got
hasn't taken a
so
tank
much
because he's
anti-tank
just going to
capability,
run at everything.
and he
Absolutely everything.
re-rolls because of anti-tank grenades and the
Yeah.
new case blue rules. So he re-rolls everything. So
Yeah.
he's very, very likely to kill your tank.
Yeah, I think I mean, I got Italians on my painting desk behind me, and yes, I'd love to sit and watch how this plays out, because,
Yep.
when we were talking earlier about potentially what it could do, or
Mm,
sorry, some of your lists that you've got, this is one
mm,
that I just want to know how it'll work.
yeah.
The Carabinieri, I mean, I'm guessing he's brought them in for the traffic direction
I
to
think so. Yeah.
help get a vehicle on. But the only so he's got the Fiat with the flamethrower. It's regular.
Mm,
Yeah, okay. The anti-aircraft truck with the light auto cannon. He's going to bring that on into the flank.
yeah.
He wants it on when he wants it. So
Yeah.
again, the Carabinieri stay off. The Saharina,
Yeah.
Saharina. Yeah, he's going to run around with that, doing his normal stuff, just annoying other
Yeah.
people's tanks. And the
Yeah.
howitzer as well is going to be used to put pins on stuff and keep tanks honest.
Mm,
The good thing I think from the this list which goes back onto the previous one, is the anti-tank rifles are now viable, because
yeah. They are.
you're running around with Armor 7 trucks. He'll be
Hmm.
loving that. He'll be looking
Yeah.
forward to that with his anti-tank rifle.
All the White Scars cars we just saw, that
Yeah,
anti-tank
yeah,
rifle
exactly.
is
Yeah,
just
I
going
mean,
to sit there and kill them. Yeah.
yeah. So you know,
Yeah.
brilliant, lovely,
Yeah. Yep.
lovely list.
That is really a
I'd love
lovely
to watch
list.
this play. Yeah.
Yes,
Um.
I do hope we are going to try and get the streaming running again. So let's hope that
Yeah.
he ends up on a table that gets recorded.
Yeah.
Because
Good.
this I want to see play as well. But the only thing that worries me is 14 order dice may be a little low at the 1200 points.
Yeah, I mean, those veterans are going to get shot up.
They
Depending on
are.
your tables, I don't know what they're going to look like, and
Mm,
depending on the scenario, they could find themselves taking a lot of shots,
mm,
and they could go down to, 4 or 5 men relatively quickly,
yeah.
by turn 3. But do you know
Mm,
what? He doesn't care, and he's got more
no,
of them.
he's got more.
So
Yeah.
yeah, very interesting list.
Very. Then we have Michael Eistrud. So not our Michael, but and this is I'm sorry, in a format that makes it a little bit difficult. But
Hmm.
again, we have an Italian list. So he's got an inexperienced lieutenant, and then two black shirt battalions of 9 men.
Hmm.
No, four black shirt battalions of 9 men, of course, with the tough fighter fanatic Credera special rule.
Hmm.
Then he's got a Guastatore destruction group with one
Yes.
flamer regular. I like that setup. Medium mortar, inexperienced, anti-tank rifle team, flamer team, sniper team. Exactly the same as we just saw
Yeah.
this support group here. Light howitzer, regular. The AB-40, regular with a pin-mounted
Yeah.
MMG, good armored car. An M15, a good darker tank here, 145 points. Then he's got a mule transport, a truck regular with an MMG, and a Fiat veteran. He really wants to outflank.
I I I I loved it. This is much closer to what I would take, given the sort of
Yeah,
the Italian rules and what's available.
16
Um,
order dice is also good.
Yeah, it's better than the 14 that we just saw. I think in a mirror match against these two, I think this would probably just come off a little bit better.
Maybe.
The 1542 reg tank will keep even a unit of veterans honest if they're going to
Mm,
run across the open. Gives you the charge, or put them down, put pins on them, stop them moving.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean there's a lot to see here. Just 4 units of this is kind of what I expected from the Case Blue book, was to
Hmm.
see these black
Yeah.
shirt battalions running around.
Yeah.
Um,
The only
and
thing I might
that's
change
exactly what
out
you're going to
was
see.
maybe one of these black shirt battalions with a cavalry, like the Savoy Cavalleria unit, just to have something that's a really good
It,
flanker. But it's a matter of taste, I think.
yeah, do you know what the cavalry? The you've got to. I mean, lots of people have talked about it. You've got to know how to play cavalry,
Yeah,
and the
that's
danger
true.
with
Yeah.
cavalry is you either throw them forward and they get isolated and then
Hmm.
get destroyed,
Mm.
or you save them and then you end up just using them against
Not
one
using
unit
them.
and
Yeah.
you haven't got your points worth.
Yeah.
So lots of cavalry works. I think with one cavalry unit you've got to bide your time and hope for the best.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Potentially.
yeah, you could be right. And but it would be cheaper as well. 6-man unit
So,
cavalry.
what do we think is going in the Fiat here? Is that the Flamer team, or is he going to be a little bit cheeky and throw his AT rifle in that to try and kill a steward?
No, no, that's going to be the flamethrower.
This
That's
could,
going to be the flamethrower. And
yeah.
if he's sensible, he'll look at what's on the table. He'll look at the scenario. He'll look at the terrain and see whether he can just drive it forward into a position that it can pop out and do the damage,
Mm,
or he's going to put it into outflank and then sort of catch somebody napping with the flamer. I think the rest of it, the tanks and everything else, can probably even drive them to the flank if need be, or keep
yeah.
those things honest. Of course, flamethrowers aren't going to do much against him. Well, they'll obviously kill men, but
Yeah, but
they're
not
not going to
like
stop him.
no, they're
Not in the
not,
numbers
because
that he needs. No.
9-man units and their fanatics. Oh, he's going
Yeah.
to stay there no matter what happens. He's going to
Yeah.
stay, and
Yeah.
he's going to kill whatever was thrown against him.
Yeah. It's the Gastatori destruction group. It's just so expensive for
Yeah, it
really
is.
all you're bringing is one flamethrower,
It is.
and that's
That's
probably
true.
their Achilles, isn't it? The Italians is they don't have access to an engineering team of a reasonable price, or
Mm,
sorry, cheaper price anyway,
cheaper
because you're
price.
paying for
Yeah,
Bangalore torpedoes and all the rest of the nonsense that
yeah,
you're never going to use.
yeah,
But yeah, interesting. I think I like this one. I think the previous list is going to be fantastic to watch play, but I
yeah.
think this is probably the better list.
Probably better. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
again, in the hands of a good player, it could do really well.
We're talking, like, people at home. We're not talking about the players
Yeah,
here, although we do
no,
mention the
no,
players. But we're talking about the lists only because, I mean, Richard can't say how good Michael is compared to the other Michael. I mean, yeah.
no.
So then we're going to talk about Morgan. Now, Morgan is an interesting one. He came onto the Danish competitive scene like a flash of a bolt of lightning. He is very, very young. He's not turned 18 yet, and he won a rookie tournament with Italians, and that was, everyone was like flabbergasted. What, can that be done? And he's bringing his Italians again. He's been
Mhm.
out of the competitive scene for a year. He's been off doing some school thing, but now he's back and he's bringing the old school Italian, so not
Mm,
Ace Blue. 15 order
yeah,
dice, 1198 points, second lieutenant regular with an extra man. Then black shirts, 7 men with a single submachine gun, 2 of those. A forward artillery observer with an extra man, 2 late war paras with submachine guns on the lot of them. They are a little bit different in size. So one of them is an 8-man unit, the other is a 6-man unit. Double Panzerfaust, single Panzerfaust, and then a final black shirt unit of 6 men. Medium mortar with a spotter, regular. Sniper team, regular. Anti-tank rifle team, regular. Medium artillery piece, howitzer with a spotter. Horse-drawn limber, regular. Auto blender 41. that's got an automatic cannon and a lot of machine guns. And then the M15, again, a darker tank, and a truck for the
Mhm.
Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he can upgrade one of those militia units to fanatic, can't he?
I think so.
Yeah. So but the so I'd expect one of the 7-man units to do that.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean the rest really just makes some normal regular infantry. So not sure what he was trying to find there.
nope.
The paratroopers, yeah, stubborn. What you get from
Mm,
paratroopers. The thing with those is they got submachine guns.
mm,
So they're designed to go forward, and if you're a fanatic, they'll let you charge them,
yeah,
or they'll come close enough to give you a good C-into, or go
mm.
into ambush, so you just can't do anything, and they will deal out a lot of damage. God, yeah, that 8-man
I
unit,
also
all
like them because
submachine guns.
they have access to the Panzerfausts, which is a
Yes,
rarity in the Italian
yeah,
lists. So for
yeah,
that reason alone, I think they might be worth considering.
yeah, because he went for the. He's got an auto blinder, so he's got +2, and he's got the M1542, so he's got the Italian Dakar tank, so he's got
Yep.
some anti-tank there.
Mm,
And he's also got medium artillery, so
yep.
it's not sure he needed the Panzerfausts,
Maybe not.
but
Maybe not. Yeah.
the stubborn unit, with one of them will be in the truck without a doubt.
Mm, yeah.
Um, what's missing from this list? Flamethrower.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
That is one thing that he does not have.
yeah, multi-use is a flamethrower,
Yeah.
whether it's to put pins on, kill a tank, set fire to a
Mm.
building,
I think I
chase
would have
units off.
cut out the forward observer to just buy a flamethrower and a Fiat for him, and then have a few
Yeah,
points
yeah.
left over for more infantry or something.
See, that's the second forward observer I've seen, and
Yeah, and they're paying points for them.
yeah, and you really don't see that very much. Get
No.
a crazy Scotsman who brought 3 one time, but other than that, the rest of the time you very rarely see this option because it's
Nope.
100 points. Obviously, your points limit has given people the thought process of actually it's worth it at 1,200 points.
I also think
I'm
that they're
not sure it
suffering
is.
from
Yeah,
Brit envy, right?
yeah, I'm not
That
sure it
free
is. I'm
artillery
not.
observer, but yeah,
50 points, yes, definitely. I think 100,
at
100
100,
points.
nah,
No,
yeah, not for me.
no, I don't think so. No, but I think it's a nice list. Is it gonna? It's not the most competitive of the ones we've seen so far,
Nope.
but I do like those machine gun units, and they are going to dish out a lot of pain.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an interesting list without being too over the top.
And then we have Morton. Morton here is calling his list Operation Disneyland.
Morton's not very well, is he?
I'm not sure. I think this was a dare.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I hope so.
14 order dice, 1,200 points. He is bringing an officer with, I don't know why it says 10 officers, because it's not. It's one officer and an extra soldier, regular. And then Brandenburgers,
Hmm.
5-man unit. They're so expensive, but so nice to have.
Yeah,
Hair Pioneers, veterans, that is 3 rifles and a flamethrower.
yeah,
And
there's
then,
something missing there.
yeah, there needs to be 5.
Another man.
Yeah, so it's 4 rifles and a flamethrower. Anywho, um, then Volkssturm, which
Yeah. Hmm.
is a 7-man unit here, inexperienced, green. Another Volkssturm, again 7 riflemen, inexperienced and green. Volksgrenadiers, mixed quality, so he's really leaning into that role to see what happens here. 5-man unit, all of them assault rifles. German LMG team, I like the German LMG team, really like it. A light mortar team, I'm not sure why, but okay. A sniper team, which does not have the Gewehr 43, but
No.
has pistols. An anti-tank rifle, medic. What's with the medic? Howling
Hmm.
Cow. I like the Howling Cow, even though I
It,
dislike multi-launchers
you
in
don't you
general.
don't like it really.
No, no. But a single multi-launcher, I think, is very, very useful in your list, right?
Yeah.
It makes
Oh
the
yeah.
enemy spread out. And then a Panzer 7, the Mouse. Super
Panzer eight.
heavy. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Panzer 8, the Mouse. Super heavy
Yeah.
tank, 11 plus armor. It's got a turret-mounted super gun of some sort, KWK-44. Um, 7 penetration, 3-inch coaxial light howitzer. If you would ever want to fire that for some reason, I don't know why you would. And a pintle-mounted medium machine gun. So it's got Tiger Fit slow. It's a mobile fortress, got loads of special rules, and that is it. And a mule team at the end, 4 points. Yay!
Yeah.
This is
And
insane.
he's not taking this seriously at all. I think you're right. He's doing this for a bet, and I tell you now, he's won the bet. This
Yeah,
is
he
a
has.
this is just he's brought this for fun. He's brought it to confuse people. He's got bits of everything in there, like you say, the Volkssturm, the Volksgrenadiers, all the rest of it. He's brought those because he wants to do the rolls to see what they do.
Yeah,
That's the only reason he's brought those.
yeah,
The LMG team, a light mortar, not even a medium mortar.
yeah,
You just go through the list. You go, no, no, medic. Oh, that's a Dan thing. That's a crazy
yeah,
crazy thing to do. Dan Moody would do something like that.
yeah.
Howling cow, but it's all about this big fellow at the end,
It
the
is.
mouse,
That's going to
and
do all the heavy lifting, and it,
yeah,
it, it can do some heavy lifting, but you really need to make every single shot count, don't you?
well, this is it. You get probably, well, we'll say 6 shots in a game.
Yeah,
Realistically, 5 shots. Out of
maybe
those,
maybe
you're going
you'll
to
hit with
miss a
3.
few.
Yeah,
Oh, but those moments will be just cinematic.
yeah. The
Because you
glory
can
of just
guarantee,
wiping out the whole unit in one go, but
I would love to see the number of times he fires at an enemy tank or something and he
yeah.
rolls that one for damage.
Oh yes, Morton here
Oh
is
dear.
famous for loving his big cats and
Yeah.
for always bringing like he's a bit of an orc player. He really likes to bring lists where he has uh, fuel shortage or green or all that, where he just rolls off and something happens. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and he knows
Uh,
this was potentially not a good idea, but
Of course he
it was a
does.
dare.
Yeah.
It was a dare.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
Mm.
I think he's going to have a great weekend.
I think so too. I think so. He's going to enjoy it. He's not going to. I mean, he might even go for the wooden spoon because he's definitely not going to win many games. But those few moments when the mouse absolutely destroys something will be
Yeah.
glorious.
It'd be so satisfying for him. Yeah.
Yeah, it will. Then we have Martin from the Dutch team. So he is bringing 16 order dice, 11.99.
Hmm.
Chinese nationalists with a Sherman apparently. So he's bringing a regular lieutenant, X and Y force, which I didn't know about before I read
Hang on.
about
Hang
them
on.
from this
Sorry.
list.
Sorry, Bo. Where are we?
Yeah,
We're
we are
looking
in,
at
in Martin.
I got Morton. I haven't got a Martin on
Martin,
my
M
list.
R. R.
Mm,
We have
No,
one
he didn't
Morton.
send me that one. I got a
Okay, I
Morton,
don't know why
a
it's not.
Morgan, a Martin, and then I got a Patrick. So the list
Then
you sent, I've
okay,
got it. Let's have a look at it.
we will.
Oh yeah, no, I
Okay,
don't have Martin. Let's have a look at Martin.
that's weird.
Okay,
Anywho,
Chinese.
yeah, X and Y force. I didn't know these guys. But 7-man units with a single BAI. I like that for a skirmish unit here. 2 of those.
Hmm.
Guerrilla cells, so they've got the fieldcraft, forward deployment,
For
infantry,
deployment. So
all of
it's a
that.
communist
Yeah,
list
yeah. Veterans. So 8-man, 2 of these. Cavalry
with
unit.
pistols. Don't forget,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've got
with
pistols. So they've
pistols.
got forward. So they're forward deploying close combat fighters, basically.
Yeah,
Veterans. Nice.
yeah.
Then we've got a cavalry unit here. 7 men, levy squad,
Mhm.
and the sniper team, veteran. Flamethrower team, veteran.
Veterans.
Suicider, veteran. I Okay, he really wants his small teams to survive here. 15 centimeter SFH 18, which is a heavy howitzer.
That's a heavy, yes.
Yeah, so big gun. Horse-drawn limber, which I'm not sure can actually tow a heavy howitzer, but what do we care? It can
Uh,
still move in.
I think they can. I think they're all cool.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I know the mule can't tow the medium howitzer, anyways.
Yeah.
A BA-20M, so that's the
Hmm.
flamethrower BA-20, and a Sherman 75. So that has got the medium anti-tank gun, and it's a 9+, easily catches fire, thin sides Sherman, just your box standard Sherman. Double
Yeah.
universal carriers.
So what's going in the universal carriers?
I have no idea.
Suiciders,
The flamethrower
flamethrower going into the
plus
Jeep.
the lieutenant, maybe.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's all he can throw in, because yeah,
The
everything else
suicide
doesn't fit.
bombers.
Yeah,
But he's got two
suicider can be in
universal
one.
carriers.
He's got two. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Maybe he's thinking of just using one or maybe both of them as a gun platform. But
Maybe
there's a lot of
sitting in the
points to
back
do
with
that.
the
Yeah.
lieutenant firing the
Yeah.
pintle mounted.
Yeah, yeah, quite possibly. I
See?
mean, what you'll find is that the infantry, obviously, the veterans with the pistols, they're
Mm,
up for close combat. They're tough
yeah,
fighters,
yeah,
uh, but they are only 8 men.
yeah. And they're going to get
Ooh, but
pinned, aren't they?
they are, yeah. See, they are veterans. They will get pinned. He'll use the cover well, probably trying to use the hard cover as much as possible, but it's the pins that'll hurt him.
Yes.
The cavalry will be nice, only
Mm,
regular though.
mm,
But he does have 7 of them, so they will be
yeah,
able to do some damage. But again, danger is they get isolated. The
yeah,
advantage he's got, of course, he can do a lot of forward deployment, a lot of
yeah. So the
infiltration
cavalry can
tactics.
quickly get
Yeah,
up to the guerrilla cells and then support
yeah,
them once they start
yeah.
pushing.
Or
Yeah,
vice versa. Or the
or
cavalry
vice
can
versa.
go
Yeah,
forward, do
yeah.
the damage, recce away as far as they can. Maybe get caught by a counterattack, but then of course he can then counter with the infantry. So
Mm,
yeah, not as bad as you think it might be. I think
no,
the guerrilla cells price is what's interesting though,
yeah,
because they're so cheap,
yeah.
so
For
cheap for
eight
what they dig
veterans,
out.
because you're only
Yeah,
buying them with pistols, that becomes
yeah,
very cheap.
yeah.
With forward deployers, that is very good. I've seen whole armies using guerrilla cells, like 4 of them, and it's
Mm.
very difficult to deal with.
It is. You've got to be so clever to try and catch them out. I think this is quite a good list, actually. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot to it. I'm not convinced on the tank on the Sherman.
No, me neither. But
He might be limited by what's available in the book for them.
mm,
And I'm not sure about the wheeled flamethrower.
no, the BA-20. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice when
Once
it
that,
works.
yeah, but it always runs out for me. It always runs out, and then you're just stuck there with with a car that has no armament.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good that it can recce, so it can
Yeah,
take a shot on behalf of the Sherman, and the Sherman
yeah,
can then sort
exactly.
of use that to do that. But I'm not a big fan of the just a regular Sherman, probably because you get spoilt using
Level
the other
5.
one that we saw earlier.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But no, it's balanced. It's got a number of things.
Mm.
Um, yeah, an
Yep.
interesting list in the hands of a good player. We'll get some good results here. I'd be interested
Yes.
to see how they do against all those Italian fanatics, though,
Yes. Yes.
because
Because
there'll be
that's going to
a
be
mirror
rough,
match
isn't
on
it?
attacks, a
Yeah.
mirror match on the attacks, but then it goes down to the fanatics if you roll
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah.
So could go either way. Yeah,
And then the final
nice.
list for us today is Patrick.
Yeah.
Here we go. So Patrick is bringing and Patrick, by the way, is coming over from Sweden, I believe. So 16 order dice, 1200 points. Finally, someone managed to spend all their points. um, and he calls it crossing the belt because the sea between Denmark and Sweden is called the belt, so he's crossing the belt.
Ah,
Um,
got you.
So he's bringing a second lieutenant regular, CC
Hmm.
Recon, 2 of these, 3 of these, 8-man units because somebody knows how to play Finnish here.
Hmm.
120. I think they're worth every single point you spend on these units.
Yeah.
Continuation war, double continuation war with double Faust in each unit. Again, I really like this setup. 6-man units, again, perfect for
Yeah.
Finns because you're going to get upgrades as soon as you reach that halfway point. So lose 3
Hmm.
men and you're suddenly veteran. Regular flamethrower team, sniper team, veteran, anti-tank rifle team, because I think you have to take one as Finns because you don't really have that much anti-tank.
You
I mean,
don't
that's
have a
also why
lot.
you bring the Fausts, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
And then heavy mortar team with a spotter
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
he needs to
He
be
knows what he's
survivable.
doing.
He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing here. Medium artillery, howitzer with a spotter
With a
again.
spotter.
BA-10, unreliable BA-10. I'm not a massive fan of this. The T-28 though is a good tank, but again unreliable. Um, but it does have that howitzer, so that's the third HE. He can sit back and just put out pins and
Yeah, but it's only a
indirect fire.
+2 howitzer. Yeah.
It's only a +2, true.
Hmm.
And then a horse-drawn limber because 4 dice are
Hmm.
nice, and double consomolets.
Yeah. So obviously the consomolets are for the continuation war chaps
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
Panzerfausts. Um,
Or they
you've
could
got
just
to
sit
make,
in his back lines and shoot.
yeah, yeah, possibly, but really sort of you want to get your Panzerfaust forward for
Do
wherever the threat may come from, because other than those, he doesn't have a great deal other than the BA-10. It's the
mm,
good thing about the BA-10, although it's unreliable, it's got recce.
yeah,
So it can run away for that one shot and
yeah,
then hopefully wait for the last dice next turn and possibly pop round and do some damage, and then it can run away at the next one. So clever
mm,
use of that will actually, I mean, the
really, yeah,
unreliable won't come into it. The medium tank, the T-28, sounds great. Loads of machine guns. It's got the light howitzer,
mm,
156 points.
yeah.
Not
It is
bad for a machine
expensive.
gun base, but we've already seen other people bring in proper tanks.
Hmm.
This will not stand up to a proper tank.
No,
This will not win that dogfight.
no.
Yeah, that's going to struggle. But the CC squads, don't forget, are tough fighters as well.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
By the way,
see
which
that's the good.
pushes away the enemy
Yeah,
assaulters because you don't want to assault veteran tough fighters, especially not if they're fighting back simultaneously. That
well,
that
what they'll
never
do is
works out.
they'll get into cover and they'll just keep
Hmm.
shooting you to
Yeah,
pieces, and then
yeah,
eventually your infantry will have potentially will have to go and fight them,
yeah,
and you're fighting at the same time. Plus they've
yeah.
ambushed you, plus extra pins from the sniper. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of good stuff in this list, and it's for 1,200 points, and you've only got what was it one platoon.
Hmm.
Finns are strong in this. Finns are
Yeah,
strong.
they really are because they can spend the points on those expensive veterans, can't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, the only thing it's his anti-tank is the struggle. I know he's got a medium artillery. I
Mm,
know he's got the tank, and I know he's got the BA-10. But you just feel that compared to the mobility of other people's lists that we've looked at,
yeah,
there's a lot of tanks running around that can do some damage.
yeah.
So interesting. I think it's good. I'm not sure it's an assault army per se,
No,
even
it's
though
not.
it's got uh, the tough fighters. I think this is very much a case of pin people down, do damage, do damage, do
Mm,
damage, and then just go and finish off what's left, rather
yeah,
than actually go and sort of make a dent with your army
yeah,
and
yeah,
exploit it. So no,
yeah.
I like that. I like that. I think that's a good use of Finns, and I think it's a good army balance wise as well.
I think so too. It is for me a very, very strong choice. This Finnish army, I really think
Mm.
he can do well with it. For you, Richard, of the armies that we viewed today, which one would you rate to be the best? Which one would you rate to win this tournament of these armies?
Ooh. That's all okay. Put me on the spot. I
Yeah.
like this one, but I don't think it's strong enough. I think this second, the second Finnish one we looked at, Italian one we looked at. I quite like the look of that. The
So
second
Michael
Martin.
Ease, yeah.
Yeah, Michael's. Yeah, I like that. Um, yeah, I think I'd like. I think my heart's leading more than my head on that. I'd like to see that do well because of the four units of tough fighters, fanatics. I think that just
Mm. Richard? Unfortunately, Richard just chopped out here. Oh, that sucks. I would have loved to
oh,
seen what.
yeah, I'd like to see that. But I think overall, it's anybody's. I wouldn't. I can't. I couldn't call it. Not of those lists. I think there's a couple of lists there that, if they fought each other, would sort of fight each other to a standstill.
Right. That is it for us today, Richard. Thank you so much for coming onto the channel. And
No problem. Great fun.
it really was. Have a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you soon as well. And for the rest of you guys tuning in, thank you all for tuning in and watching this. We will talk to you again. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.